Dear friends, so today is our second lecture on criminal litigation, and today we are going to cover evidential matters, which is actually one of the most important topic within the whole criminal litigation, so treat it very carefully, this topic. And here with me today is Oliver Gray. Welcome back, Ollie.
Thanks, Olga.
It's like a poem now.
Yeah.
Just as an icebreaker, we usually have two topics, something related to the exam or to legal career. And I think let's talk about a little bit about legal career. As an experienced professional who definitely had many interviews, not at the police station, job interviews, would you share, let's say, 3 tips or how many you have as to actual job interview? Any suggestions?
I mean, the same for any situation where you're going to be put on the spot is preparation. Research on the firm, research on the areas of practice, because quite a few of the interviews I had, I was actually given scenarios, like a question. I know that when I finished doing the LPC, there was a big shortage of training contracts. So a lot of us were just going for paralegal jobs just to try and get our foot in the door somewhere. We'd sit down in the interview and they would give us a scenario and say, I remember I had some family law scenarios for a small firm I was applying to that had a very broad range of practice. So I would definitely say prepare for potentially being asked about scenarios, prepare your knowledge of the practice areas in that firm, and prepare your research on the firm itself and the people that work there. That's probably the first thing I can think of. Thank
you very much. And you need to adjust a little bit your cover letter to any sort of law firm that you apply.
Again, exactly. Don't just, scattergun approach, send out the same thing to everywhere. They will almost certainly be able to spot that. And unless you have a really fantastic CV and they really want you, it's not going to stand you in good stead to appear that you're not particularly passionate about that firm.
How is important this cover letter is against the CV, let's say, if we compare, especially in the light of someone who is very new to the profession, so doesn't have a lot of record?
I would say very important, because the cover letter is your opportunity to explain yourself, and you can go into more depth. It's certainly more qualitative than the CV, where they're just seeing a snapshot of your academic and professional background. The cover letter is your opportunity to explain why you want to work at this particular firm, and also what you can do for them beyond what you've said in a very limited way in your CV.
Right. And for people who, how huge it should be, like the cover letter? It was always my confusion. Should it be very long? Or
I wouldn't have said so, because, a lot of the firms, especially if you're applying to bigger firms, they're not massively interested in sitting and reading hundreds of these. I would try to keep it short and to the point, and probably no more than a page. At the same time, I've heard that some firms use AI to screen through CVs and cover letters. So again, I would be careful and keep them short, and maybe try to use certain keywords that you might think are attractive.